Hello everyone, this is Monday, March the 8th, can you believe that? Monday, March the 8th, 2021. A beautiful spring day here in Halifax. It is almost 2 p.m. plus 1 degree Celsius. So that would be about 33 degrees Fahrenheit. Right now I'm at the bus station and train station. Train station right there. Bus station's right there. No, I didn't just arrive on the train or the bus. I live here. I just wanted to show people if you arrived here on the train, this is what you'd see when you came out the doors. You'd be coming out through here and looking at this. And that little park right there is called Cornwallis Park. And we're in the south end of Halifax. So we're going to start walking from there, and the bus station is right there. So you'd see the same thing if you came from there. All right? So we'll start walking as if we're walking uptown from the south end. And so if you're new here, this is what you'll see when you get off the bus and come through here, and you'll have the big hotel is right here, which is called... I'll tell you in a minute. I know what it is, but I don't want to tell you something, the wrong name, what this place is called. So, it's called the Weston Hotel. Okay. All right, so we're going to take a walk from here, and we'll walk right across and go through the park. And I got to run so I don't get run over here. All right. So we'll take a little walk through the park. It's just a small park, but it's one of my favorite places in the summer because Tim Hortons is just down the road. I go there, get a coffee, and come up here and sit down in the park for a little while. It's kind of a nice little place. And it's a good place if you're a parent and got small kids and live around here. There's lots of stuff for kids to play on over there. So really nice for that. And whoops, I gotta be careful. I think I set my tracker off here. Let's see. I think so. Okay, one pull. Should set me back on track again. Okay, just gotta watch that little trigger there. I don't know what that's a silly feature, really. I have no use for the tracking feature. So I guess if somebody's moving around a lot, you don't have to keep following them. You can just hold it, and it'll turn automatically in the direction of the picture you took when you turned the tracking feature on. But that's not something I use. That's just something that every once in a while my finger hits it, and I gotta get off of that because it's not working for me when I have the tracking on. So, anyways. Cornwallis Park, we're heading out over towards, that was just if you heard a little ding, that was just a Facebook notification, and nothing serious, nothing to stop my video over. The only thing I'll stop my video over is a phone call from my wife. Other than that, I just let it go, whatever it is. All right, so the sign right there says we are at 1190 Barrington. Okay, the south end of Halifax on Barrington Street. And Barrington is a street that will go all the way across the city from Halifax. You can go from south pretty much to north on Barrington Street. Well, I would say it can go from south to north. It goes right across the city. So we'll walk a ways on Barrington, and then maybe we'll do something different. Maybe. I think today I'm going to take a walk up South Street. We have never done that. And if you go up South Street, you'll go right up towards University, and we'll go up that way and just see what's up there. Okay? I know what's up there, but maybe you don't. So we'll take a walk up South Street. There's mostly it's residential, but it's a through street. South Street will take you all the way up to Roby, or any of those streets up there that cross the city. I don't think I got enough time in my day today to go all the way up to Roby and all the way across to the north end, anything like that, but we'll go up South Street and then we'll decide. I know we go past the university and we may take a trip in through there. I don't have time to cover the whole campus today, but we can give you a little taste of it. And I've never really covered the university. You know why? Because it's so big. It would take quite a while to do that. And maybe when the weather's a little bit warmer, maybe I'll be able to do it in like part 1 and part 2 or something like that. Or I could do a driving video and cover the campus that way. But I know it's an interesting thing that people like to see, especially students that are coming here. So I might be able to show you a little bit today. I'm going right up South Street, and that goes right up there to the university. South Street runs parallel to Spring Garden Road. So any of these streets that I'm crossing will probably take you over to Spring Garden. Or a lot of them will. Some of them are just short streets, but most streets that I come to will take you over to Spring Garden Road. Back, 2 years ago, I used to travel South Street every day because we were new here to the city, and my wife's first job was working at the university. She worked in one of the kitchens here. I guess I think it's a residence as well. It was a kitchen area she worked in. So the campus, if you drive a car here, you have to park it somewhere where you're going to have to pay to park your car, and the parking's not cheap. So it was cheaper for us if I drive my wife to work and go home, then come back and get her. So that's what we used to do. So for me, I had a couple of directions I could come in. Since I live in Dartmouth, I could go right up North Street and go across Roby that way, or I could get off and come down around Barrington and go up South Street, the street that I'm on right now. So sometimes I did it one way, sometimes I did it the other. It's all about the same thing. So I'm quite familiar with this area of the city because I did it every day for 5 days a week for one school year. And then just before university got out for the summer, my wife got a lot better job, and she hasn't been back in this area much. I come down here once in a while to the south end walking around just because I like to do a lot of walking, and it's something I enjoy, so I come down this area quite often. Sometimes I come down to go to Tim Hortons in the south end. Not that there isn't a Tim Hortons in other places, but change of scenery, which I did today. I come down and I went to Tim Hortons down in South End. It's on Barrington Street, the South End. You can't miss it if you ever go down that way. It's one of my spots I like to go. Well, there's like some construction going on over here, and right there is one of Halifax's tallest buildings. It may be the tallest. It's called the VUZE, the Views. So what I'm thinking this looks like, there might be another building going up here, perhaps. They're drilling some holes. I don't know. It's a construction site anyway. I love these fences they have along the sides here. They're really nice. You see them a lot of places in Halifax, that type of fence. And I would say that's a historical graveyard. And if it's not locked, maybe I'll walk in there and see what. You never know what you'll see when you walk through an old graveyard. Let's start looking at the headstones. There could be somebody famous in there, somebody that died like a couple hundred years ago, but did something important in politics, or had something to do with the city. So it's always interesting to walk through old grave sites, but a lot of times they're locked and you can't get in there. So if it's open, I'll take a walk through. If it's not, I can't do anything today. Maybe one day it'll be open. And well, it's quite nice up here. The wind was blowing down by the water, but since I got up here, I don't really feel any wind. And you can tell there's no wind blowing in the microphone. I'm using my external mic just to be on the safe side. I've finally learned, don't start out without it, no matter how calm it seems to be, because you could come around a corner and the wind's blowing, and then it's in my backpack and it's hard to get out, and so I just start out with it now. Don't matter how nice the day is. I'm using my mic because it sounds better anyway. Your voice sounds a lot richer and fuller through the mic than it does the mic in the phone. So I just finally learned. It took me a while to catch on to that, but I finally learned. Just use my mic every time. I think I sat in Tim Hortons for about an hour, put on my headphones and listened to some music, and then I had charged my phone back up because I ran it down. I was about 70%, and I carry a little battery. It's not a big one, but I plan to get a bigger one soon, and that's one of the items on my list. There's a battery that will charge my phone at least 3 times. The one I have will charge my phone. If it's dead, if I run it right down, there's like 10% left, I can plug it into that battery and charge my phone fully up once. But by the time I charge it once, that's pretty much it. So, let's see. We'll keep going straight, I guess. Gotta wait for some traffic to go across there for the lights here in green, but we'll keep going straight. Right there's the campus. This is the area I was in the other day when I did the Victoria Park tour. Was from here on down, and a few things up that way. So that's the campus right there at the start of it. But it goes a long ways, and I don't have time to do that today. But we'll take a look at a few things here, and that you might be interested in along the way. So remember I told you Victoria Park was bounded by South Park on the west side, I guess it would be. West side, yeah. Summer Street, the other side. So we just crossed the intersection of South Street and South Park. And we're continuing on South Street. You'd think South Street was going south, but no, it's going more west, kind of, yeah, North is that way. So south and north. So west is to your left. Your left. Your west is always left of north. If you're pointed north, your left is west. So this has to be going west. But it's called South Street, I guess, because it begins down the south end and crosses Barrington there in the south end of Halifax. So they call it South Street. Had to call something. So, okay, we'll continue on up here and see if I can identify any of these buildings for you on the way. I take it this is a health center of some kind here. It's the Queen Elizabeth Health Science Center. Okay, if I can get a shot of the sign, I'll show it to you. That might be something you'd be interested in. Okay, Queen Elizabeth Health Sciences Center. Okay. There's no emergency services at this site. Go to Halifax Infirmary. Okay. Somewhere on the campus they're doing trials of a vaccine for COVID. That could be the building. That could be it right there. The Health Sciences Center. Sounds like a likely place. And right across the road from me are residences, I guess. The South Tower, IWK Health Center, Child Safety Link, ready? Okay, and then upstairs it looks like it's a residence unit. This Health Science building is quite a long building. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's about 9 or 10 stories high, and it's quite long. So it's a good sized building. Well, this is a nice walk up through here. The road's it's a little bit of an uphill incline, but it's not a steep hill, so you won't really notice it if you're walking uphill because it's a slow incline. It's almost like walking on a flat street, which is a rare thing in Halifax, but this is one of them. So it's really good. Not a lot of wind. I see the smokestacks are blowing towards the south end, so the wind is out of the north. Yeah, but I got buildings all around me, so right now that's probably why I don't feel the wind, because I got lots of stuff to block the wind from me. I did pull up my parka just in case I got into wind, because once you got your recording going, it's hard to fool around with things like that, so I just get it all set up ahead of time. So I put my parka up. So far it hasn't been, I don't think it was overdoing it, putting it up. It's just keeping things nice. So South Street will be what you could call a main street. It comes all the way down from, I guess, Roby, maybe Windsor. Maybe. It goes right up to the top anyway, and then you can run across the city that way. You can go all the way over to the north end, taking one of these streets that crisscross South Street. As I see something that's got a name, I'll tell you the name of the building. This is getting the construction job here, so I don't know if it's doing anything or if it's all under construction inside. This is the Isaac Walton Killam Children's Emergency right here. I don't know if that's only for children. This says Children's Emergency, so. That's all I can say. It was the Isaac Walton Killam Health Center anyway. Very famous hospital in Halifax. the IWK. I think I counted them once what I know of. There's 4 hospitals here in Halifax. There's a Veterans Hospital, the IWK, and I know there's one in Dartmouth, and I think there's one more. I'm not real sure about that, but I think I counted 4 hospitals one time when I was trying to see how many hospitals we had. So yeah, this is the IWK, and this is where the ambulance will bring you around here, I guess. It says emergency entrance, ambulance parking. So if you come here in an ambulance, this is where you'll come in, these doors. Yeah, so it looks like they've been doing a bit of renovating on this building. Some upgrades, and the front looks kind of new. So I'm not sure. I never really looked at it that close before. It's the first time I ever walked past here. Always was driving, and you see a lot of different things when you're walking than you do when you're driving. You're driving, you just go by everything, and that right there beside us is a junior high school. It's called the Goresbrook Junior High School. So there is a lot of things to see on the street. It's just a matter of if it's things you're interested in or not. But I thought I'd start today down by the bus station and train station, and it'd just be kind of fun to pretend to get off the bus or the train and walk out towards the city and walk somewhere. And that way, if anybody came in for the first time and they're getting off the bus in Halifax and they don't know what to expect, they can see what it looks like when they get off of the bus and walk out onto the street. First thing they'll see is that park, and you head it right over to Barrington, and then you can go, if you go left, you're heading down the south end. If you go right, you're headed up into the city, and it goes all the way across. So that information might be helpful to somebody. And we're now up to Roby. We're making good time up through here. So let's see, what do we want to do? We want to go up, continue on South Street, or do we want to walk up Roby and take a street up through the university? We might do that, possibly. Maybe I'll go a little bit more and then cross over. That's what I'll do. I'll go a little bit farther, and then we'll try to walk through some of the campus, because South Street is kind of on the edge of it, and all you see is things that way. And if we walk in through the campus a little bit, you get a better look at things. So that's what we'll do. We'll go a little bit more, then I'll walk into the campus. And I'm not an expert on the campus by any means. I never went to university there. I never had a whole lot to do with it, except the places my wife worked there when we first moved to Halifax. She worked over here, and that's all I know about the campus here. What? I'll do my best. And the only way I know what something is, I have to see the sign, and then I'll tell you what that building is. And it might be some help to somebody, because I know a lot of students come here every year, and some don't know what to expect. Some people come here from other countries and other provinces, and they've probably seen a few pictures and things, but don't really know what to expect when they get here. So all I can say is to any students that are coming to the university here, the campus is a big place, but don't worry, you won't get lost. Everything's laid all out pretty good for you, so you won't get lost here. And Halifax is a very friendly city. You hardly ever encounter anybody on the street who's going to give you trouble. It's not that kind of city. It's very friendly, very nice place here. And so I would try to relieve your fears of anything like that, because that's not Halifax. Halifax is a friendly place. And the greatest thing about Halifax, if you like to keep in shape, you can do it here quite easy just by walking, because there's a lot of hills and steep hills too. And you can really have a good workout just walking around the streets here. Well, by the time I get this walk in, I should have my steps for the day. I have the app on my phone with the little heart there. Tells you if you made your heart points each day, and if you're on track for your quota for the week. And I think I'll go through here. Yeah, maybe we'll walk up this way. Or on Henry Street. We'll just walk up this way. But I don't know if the sidewalk, it looks like a pile of snow here, but we might get around it. I think so. I think we're okay. Anyway, as I was saying about my heart points, I try to make them every day. I don't always, because some days I have to drive the car and do things, run some errands, do some stuff with the car. And those days I don't get to walk, so I have to walk extra the next day, which I did last week. Last week after Wednesday is my day to take out my friend there that's got Alzheimer's. I take him out on Wednesday. So we drive around a lot, and I don't do much walking, and he can't walk very well. So I don't do much walking on Wednesday. So last week, on Thursday, I went out and I walked 20,000 steps, which is quite a bit. And when I got home, I said, I think I'm well past my usual 14, 15, because I said, I feel like I've walked a little bit farther. And I looked at my phone, and it was a little bit over 20. So that was a good walk. Kind of made up for Wednesdays, because Wednesdays I get a little bit of walking, but not much. It's just like walk to the car, walk from the car into his place, walk back out to the car, stuff like that. Sometimes we come over home for a while, and I'm on the third floor. We have to walk up the stairs, so it's not a problem for me, but for anybody with a little bit of mobility, it could be a problem. And so we get a little workout there, walking up and down the stairs, and it all adds up, but it's not like going out and putting on 10 kilometers or something. So right now we're still on Henry Street, and we are coming right up through the campus. We'll walk, I think we'll go across the street and go down, and then take another right when we get down there. That's a good idea, because I want to go through the campus as much as possible. This is kind of like a boulevard right here. You go down one side of the grass and you come up the other side with the grass in the middle. I don't know if that's what constitutes a boulevard here in Halifax or not. It does some places, like up in Montreal, that's what a boulevard is. It's a street with a divider in the middle. That's a boulevard. They don't always have grass, sometimes there's cement and things like that, but that's what a boulevard is. So I guess I'm on the bike trail, but there's no bicycles on it, so I'm just going to stick right to it here, and should be all right. And that looks like a building getting some renovations. Here comes a guitar player. I should have brought my guitar. We could jam right here on the sidewalk. But, wow, we got a good guitar case. That's That's a well-built case. I don't think that's a guitar. Got a hump there. It could be a trombone case or a small stringed instrument like a cello. Maybe don't look big enough for a cello, but it don't look like a guitar case. So anyway, since we're already here, I'll go up to the end and show you this. What I think could be one of the oldest buildings in Dalhousie University, possibly. I don't know if it is, but it looks like it probably was when the university began. That was probably the first building, maybe, because it's got a dome on top, and just the way it's situated there looked like it might have been the beginning before all these other buildings were added. That's usually how universities come about. There's usually one or two buildings been built back in 1800 or something, and every year they seem to build something else. And by the time you get up to 2000, 2021, where we are now, you've had a lot of buildings. So even now, there's usually a building getting built every year here, or almost. So the campus just keeps growing and growing and growing. But we'll see if there's any. I'm just curious about this. I want to see if there's a sign. I drove up around there one day, and I was thinking about doing some kind of a video with the university, and I drove up around and just to see what was up there, and it looked like, whoops, I better hurry. It looked like that might be one of the original buildings of the university. So we'll walk right up and have a look and see if that's it. There's the Killam Memorial Library. You'll notice in Halifax there's a lot of things with Killam on it. They own a whole lot of apartment rentals in Halifax. Lots of buildings, from older buildings to new modern ones, and everything in between. And they put money into the community, and I suppose they partly funded that library, if not all of it. And they're a big company. So, in fact, that's where we have our residence is from Killam. When we moved from Ontario, we found it online, and we looked at a couple of other places, and we did some checking, and they didn't seem to look after the buildings very well, and Killam had a high rating. Now, you can't please everybody, regardless of how good you try to do. Somebody will find a complaint, but overall, Killam is pretty good. So we went off without a hitch when we moved down here. We sent in our deposit, and the apartment was saved for us. We did that around the 1st of July, and we were coming on the 31st of July. And when we got here, we went to the office and paid what money we had to pay, minus our deposit, which we already paid. And we were given the keys within about an hour of arriving, and went and moved in. So I got to say, it went pretty smooth. There was no glitches, well, you never know, right? When you come from a distance like that, you got something arranged. You could get here and they never heard of you. Somebody didn't do their job, and that's what happens. But it went as smooth as could be without a hitch, and so I got to praise them for that. They did a good job. Okay, let's see what this is right here. Dalhousie University Chemistry Building. So anybody looking for the chemistry building, you come right up to the top of the hill. It's the last thing up here. This little building right, all this stuff right here. It's the last things here. And these buildings certainly look old. I don't know if this was the very first one, but I would almost bet you that this was the original Dalhousie University right here. Look at the rocks in those walls. You know that's old. it looks like very much British influences, because a lot of buildings like that over in England. And this right here is the McDonald building, and we're still on Coburg Road. And this is Human Rights and Equity Services Procurement Department. Okay, so human rights and equity. You got a human rights problem? I guess that's the buildings that go in right there. So I didn't see any sign. Oh, I see a plaque. And once we get around the circle, I'm going to go read that plaque and see, because I'll almost bet you this is the original part of Dalhousie University right here. Almost bet you. I don't know for sure, but just the way it circles around and okay, this is the Henry Hicks Academic Administration Building, Dalhousie University. And this building is on South Street, so it depends on where you are up in here. That side is Coburg, and over here is South Street. So you got two different street addresses, and the building's almost side by side. Now we'll look at this building, and then we'll go over to that plaque. I hope this is some help to new people who haven't been into the campus yet. Like I said, I can't possibly cover the whole campus today. I don't have enough time or enough space on my videoing, so this is university, and this part is called Alumni Crescent, so University Club, whatever this is, that's what it is. All right, so there's an overall view of up in here. What you got, you come right around in a circle and back around to here. Okay, now I'm going over to this little monument here. There's a plaque on it, and I'm sure it's going to tell me that this was the original part of the university. We'll see. That's what I'm expecting. So let's see. 1814, September. A British military naval expedition from Halifax. Here, I'll just let you guys read it while I read it, okay? Sir John Cope. Well, I see that they built this part of Dalhousie from the customs duties collected during that period. 1814, 1815. The customs duties were collected during this period were utilized by Governor Dalhousie for the endowment of the Garrison Library and Dalhousie College. Yeah, so I guess, and this plaque was put here in 1938. Government of Canada, 1938. That's how long that plaque's been here. And I'll bet there wasn't near as many buildings in this campus then as there is now. In 1938, it's probably grown immensely since those days. So anyway, yeah, this would be the original Dalhousie University right here. All these stone-looking buildings. Now it's a very modern-looking place, and cement and glass, and most of it don't look like this. This is just, but you got to say, this is pretty cool up in here. And you can obviously see this was the original Dalhousie University, named after that fellow named Dalhousie, Governor Dalhousie. All right, let's go on back down. And we're going to walk towards north. We're going to take towards the north end. We're not going to go all the way maybe, but we're going to walk through the campus on this street down here. And we'll pass by a lot of things that are important. I guess I could show you on the way. I'm going to take the stairs over here. I see there's some stairs going down here. We'll take those stairs. Don't want to do the same thing every time. Going to try something different, right? So, all right, so that's what we'll do. Maybe I'll just go right Yeah, right through here to the next street. That's probably a good idea. And see what's over here. So there you go. You got a nice overview of what's back in there. It kind of ends right here. Then you got a different type of buildings here. That noise you hear in the background are two big fans up in the top of there, and it looks like it must be ventilation or something like that. There's a couple of big fans up there. They make quite a bit of noise. Yeah. I'm sure it's audible over here. Hopefully I get down in here, I can get out to the road, and I don't have to just goes into that building or something. So hopefully that's not the case. First time walking through here. I've never ever walked around the campus here, except to pick up my wife at the place where she worked. That's all I know about the university. So I'm learning a lot today. I'm learning right along with you folks. If you've never been here and you enjoy this walk, then you're learning something too. And I'm learning with you because it's my first walk through the university. Yeah, I think if you walk up that way, you'll come to Windsor Street, because Roby's down this way. So it's possible that would take you right up to Windsor Street if you go that way. I better keep walking because I hear people behind me. I don't want to hold anybody up. So we'll go this way, and I think this will take us up to a through street. Maybe it's Roby. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's, I don't think so. I think it's another street. We'll see when we get up here. This is pretty cool. These archways all along here in this building, which I don't know what this building is. It looks a little familiar. We came up here once and it almost seems like it might be this area, but maybe not. We came up here to a Christmas party. The first year my wife worked up here at the university, they had a Christmas party for them, and somewhere in this vicinity is where that building was. But I only saw it once. When we got here, it was dark out, and I'm not the best with directions the first time I see something. So, but I think it was in this area somewhere. All right, we're coming back to the street. Let's see, how long have I been at this here? 40 minutes. So I erased all the other videos off of here. So I'm pretty sure I got at least an hour. But my battery will probably give out within the hour, because that's usually what happens. Even if I have more video space, my battery won't hold up. So my backpack has a place in there to store a large battery, and it's got a little cable, you can plug it in, and then there's a jack coming out of it. So all I have to do, if I'm going to be a long time and my phone's going to go dead, I can plug it right into my backpack and keep my phone charged. But I've already used my little battery today, and it'll only charge my phone once. So, but soon I'm going to get that. You can't get everything at once, and you know. So yeah, you get what you can and you wait for the rest. And I'm a musician as well, so I always looking for stuff to buy that way. And I got to split up where I spend my money, Can't spend it all on my video equipment. I can't spend it all on my musical stuff because I have to spend it on home too. Oh, this street right here, the Merchant. Yeah, this is one of the areas where my wife worked in 2 different kitchens here. They shifted her around once, and this is the street that the second job she had was on La Merchant Street. So I know I've been on that street before. Yeah, once she moved down to this street, was working down here. I think it was probably that building right there. I think so. Or right close by there. And I think we'll be going out of the campus now when we go down to the next block. So I showed you some of it, showed you the old part of Dalhousie and walked through a few of the streets and told you what I knew. And I hope it's been some help to you. We'll just continue on walking for a while. If you don't mind, stick with me and we'll walk until I have to turn this off because a little light will come on my screen when my battery's getting low. It won't suddenly quit like when your storage is full. Your storage is full, the video's over. But when the battery's low, it says battery will run out soon. And every time I ever looked at it, I had like 14, 15 minutes left. So I got lots of time. If that does come on, let's see, we're 46 minutes now. So if that comes on, it'll be probably when I got an hour in. And I'll still have plenty of time to sign off and walk to a good location. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but I always try to find a good background when I sign off. Try to point my camera at something interesting and have a good background for signing off in. I don't know, it's just something I like to do. And so if I was to stop right here now, I wouldn't have anything really for a background that I would want to put in my background. So I got to stop at the right spot where I've got a good background. No entry. That's a school. And I guess it's only what they meant with no school buses. That's the only thing allowed in there, school buses, yeah. No cars and they might not even have school because of COVID, because they don't see any kids around or anything, so a good chance there's no school. Or maybe school's out, let's see. I can't see my clock right now. The school could be done for the day, probably. It looks like an elementary school. I'm not up on all my schools in Halifax because don't have any small children and no need for a school. So I'm not totally up on all that stuff. Well, I'm getting a good walk today. I know right now I got to be past my 10,000 steps, but I don't feel it like I don't feel 10,000 steps. That's how much I'm used to walking. I have to walk more than that before my legs tell me I've walked too far. I have to go much more than 10,000 steps. 15 don't even bother me. But if I get to 20, I can walk more, but I can tell that I've walked a little more than I usually do if I walk 20. 15 won't be a problem. So now I would say I'm over 10, which is good. I make my goal for today. I left home late today because I got up early, as usual, 3 o'clock, because my wife goes to work. She has to be out there for around 4 o'clock. And so I get up with her. And some mornings, I come over to the city before daylight, but it's been quite cold. So this morning, it was like -8, and I saw where it was going to hit like a +2 or 3 or something today. So I'm going to wait. And so I fell asleep on the couch watching some YouTube and woke up a couple hours later and cleaned up the kitchen, took out the garbage, got my son's breakfast, and he got up and did all that stuff. And I guess I was out the door by 10:30, something like that. So by the time I got over here, it was after 11. It was starting to warm up pretty good then. Now, let's see. This street doesn't have a sign on it, so I don't know what street this is. But well, I keep going anyways. Hello.
How are you?
Good, nice day, isn't it?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Beautiful. I don't know if you saw that gentleman I walked by. I didn't want to point my gimbal right at him, so he's one of the crossing guards there for the school. I find those guys very helpful here in Halifax. If you're walking along and there's no kids, if there's cars coming, they'll walk right out there for you and hold the sign up. And their primary job is to make sure the kids get across the street safe, but they do it for other people too. And I don't think they have to, but they do it. Or most of them do anyways. I haven't seen any that wouldn't do it. No. Sometimes I get strange looks from people when I'm carrying this, walking down the street, and they're wondering what it is. A lot of people know what they are now, but not everyone knows what that is. And so sometimes they give me strange looks when they meet me. They think I'm a surveyor or something, a scientific person doing some studies. But no, that's not what it is. It's just plain old photography. I'm just going to stand here until I didn't want to cut that person off because I'm walking much slower than they are. So we'll go this way. I got to get a major street now because I'm on a residential street, and all I know is north is that way, downtown is that way. So I got to find a street that goes that way. Unless I find myself all the way over to North Street, in which case then I can make a decision if I want to get on a bus on North Street, because I have to get over to Dartmouth, or I can go walk a little further and catch a bus farther down, which I will do if I don't think I'm going to stop walking just yet. I'll walk to the bottom of North Street, and if that should be North Street right there, I'll walk to the bottom of North Street and catch a bus just before the bridge. But I don't know how far I am across there. It's hard to tell. It might not be North Street. It might be just about anything. Quinpool Road's down here, I guess. Might be Quinpool Road. It could be Quinpool. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I never walked it before. I've never, ever walked from South Street across the city up here. This is the first time, and I don't know how far I'm going to go because, let's see, I'm up to 53 minutes now. So I don't know how many people will watch this video in its entirety. That's quite a long watch. I have watched some of them. I've watched people walking on just as boring of places and maybe less interesting, and their video went for an hour, and I watched the whole thing. I don't always. Sometimes I watch something and a minute later, oh, this is kind of boring, and not a reflection on the person who shot the video, but it's just something I wasn't interested in. And so that's what I do sometimes. Well, we'll see what the street is out here. If it's Quinpool, I might just walk down it for a change of scenery. More than likely, that's what I'll do. I'll walk down it and get down to the bottom. I'll walk towards Citadel Hill, down over the hill, and then maybe take the ferry across. You got so many options here in Halifax, you never know what to do. Let's see. No, this is Jubilee Street. All right. Jubilee Street. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. See what there's a major street down here, 1 block. And I think that might be Roby down there. That's what I'm guessing, that's Roby Street down here. Try to keep my lens angled the right direction so I don't like point way up in the air, that kind of stuff. Okay, well, I think that's pretty good right there. So residential streets are kind of boring, but some people like them. Well, that's about all that's on this street right here is houses. Very old houses, but still they're houses. You can tell by the design, they're 2 stories. Pretty much all after the same kind of design. And one room sticks out, kind of, that would probably be a living room that sticks out. And they're all the same right here. So. And I'm guessing this is Roby down here. If that's not Roby, then I've totally lost my my senses, because I believe it would be. Well, we've had a great walk today anyways. And we get down here, if I see something interesting to stop, we'll stop there and call it a day. But so far, so good, it's still going. I'll probably get an hour out of this. An hour is not a long video. An hour is pretty good. And I always try to add this into my videos if I can, that there's a lot of people at home who can't get out. And a lot of this is for you. If you're home and you're sick or you're injured or you're suffering from mobility problems and you just can't get out and walk around, well, this has got to be like the next best thing to doing it. Well, you can watch a video and walk right down the sidewalk as if you're there. So that's what I'm aiming for, that this will help you immensely. And so if you are a person that's stuck in the house and can't get out, can't go anywhere, can't walk very good, well, I hope you enjoy these videos. And I'm thinking of you folks, okay? So I hope you enjoy them. Oh, battery may run out soon. I'll have enough time to sign this off. We'll walk down through the park. Okay, so right across the road from me is the very corner of Halifax Public Gardens. And I should have enough time to get myself down to the corner and get myself right down through the park. And let's see. Oh, we're not there yet. This is the wrong park. I got one more street. I got to go one more little street, and then we'll be at the park. This is a different place. I thought it was the corner of Public Garden, but no, it's a graveyard, which you can walk through, but I don't know about today. But we're on the back of the Veterans Hospital. This is the Veterans Hospital right here, and we're on the south side of the Veterans Hospital. Now just down past where this park, graveyard ends will be the corner of Public Gardens. And it'd be nice if we had enough time to get down through that. I gotta walk fast because they said my battery was low. That means I got about another 10-15 minutes. So I might be able to make it if I pick up my pace, walk a little faster, I might make it down through the Public Gardens. But if I'm up to 10 more minutes, I'll have to sign off if I don't make it. Because I don't want my battery to go dead and then I can't sign off properly. And that would just be downright rude of me, wouldn't it? just shut it off and not say anything. That'd be like if I came to visit you and you went in the kitchen and you came out and I was gone. That would be that'd be very impolite of me. So I like to sign off and leave in a good way. And so we'll come down here a little bit, but maybe, I'm not sure. If I don't think I'll make it, then I might just walk right up over the Citadel Hill and down over the hill that way and not go down to the Spring Garden Road today. I could do that, yeah. That's what I think I'll probably end up doing. Every once in a while I get a puff of wind that wants to blow my phone around. I guess these things don't have a strong resistance to wind. My son bought a gimbal for his camera. He has a big, well, quite expensive camera. It's not a video camera per se. It's a camera that will shoot videos, and he does some work with that every week. And he's got a little bit of work he's getting. So he's got this nice camera, and he's got a gimbal. It's much bigger than these hand ones for a phone. It's made to hold a big camera. So yeah, that's quite a piece of equipment. He's got a drone with a camera too. He hasn't made a video yet, but maybe he's going to. He has a drone anyways. That's what it is to be young and single, and you can just spend your money on whatever you want. And you don't have to worry about bills. You just spend your money on things. So yeah, I was there once. Now if I get a hold of money, any amount, first thing I got to think is, like, what bill can I catch up? What can I do here? And that's usually how the money goes. I get to keep a little bit for myself. Let's see, what am I at now? I'm past the hour, so it went around to 1:02. So I guess we'll cut across here. Hopefully I'll make it safe without any problems. So far so good. And then when these cars go by, I'll walk across there and I'll go through I was up this area the other day and I wanted to show the skating area. And when I was up here, it was really cold, and I'm not going to quite go by it, it's over that way. But it was really cold, and as bad luck would have it, the Zamboni was icing up the track, and so I didn't get to see anybody skating. So I was going to put that in my video, and it was too cold to stand around and wait for the Zamboni guy to get done. So I just went with it, and maybe I'll get another opportunity, and maybe I won't. If the weather warms up, that could be the end of the skating for this year. So yeah, I'm going to get over here a little bit, and then I'm going to sign off my video because I haven't got that much battery left, and I don't want it to go dead on me while I'm filming this. So I know what I'll show you. Here's a place where they keep the police horses. I'll show you that. And they have a sign up there because I walked past here the other day, and it said not to pet the horses because they might bite. And so yeah, I think I'll heed the sign. Here's one here. Here we are. Horses may bite. Please do not feed or pet the horses. I've seen people petting the horses, but I'm not going to do that because my boss I worked for in Ontario had racehorses, and those things would nip you while if you're sweeping out something in the barn there, and they think you're not looking, they'll nip you. And it don't tickle when they decide to do that. So anyways, I can finish off here. I'll put the horse in the background in the building. Maybe if I stand here, he'll come over, but I don't want to pet him because you're not supposed to. So, okay, right here, looking at this fine animal. It's been a fun walk with you folks. And if you enjoyed this video and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, because it don't take any energy and it'll probably help me out in the long run. And if you like it, push that like button. And until next time, bye for now. You have a great day, and there'll be another video very shortly. Okay, bye.